Hey, what's good, everybody? It is Woodrow, and it is time to talk previews. Sorry it's a bit later than normal, but still got about a week until final orders are due at your LCS or DCB service, so we still have plenty of time to get this done. We're gonna break it up this month into 3 separate videos because chances are some of you care about Marvel, some of you care about DC, some of you care about the main previews catalog, and some of you care about some combinations. So I figured if I did 3 separate videos this month, maybe it'll be easily digestible to everybody's tastes. Okay, so starting with the smallest of the 3 catalogs as usual, it's DC. And we're just going to go through quickly things that I am ordering or interested in and are reading. I'm not currently reading Batman, so I can't speak to it. We've got a new event, though, that's coming called Lazarus Planet. This is the first issue, Alpha number 1. A couple things that stick out to me. One, it's being co-written by Mark Waid and Jean Luen Yang. Huge fan of both of these gentlemen as writers. Admittedly, my love for Yang's work is exclusively all of his creator-owned stuff. I have not read much of his DC work, so I can't speak to how he's doing in that realm, but I can say that certainly with Mark Waid as his co-pilot, this is going to be good. You know, Waid is a walking encyclopedia of information when it comes to superhero universes, in particular DC, so this is pretty exciting stuff. Essentially, as I understand it, the Lazarus, the elements that give the Lazarus pits their abilities to resurrect. There's been some kind of eruption, and now the Lazarus volcano, and as a result, there are tons and tons of these strange chemicals now being spread across the Earth through weather patterns. Kind of sounds to me a lot like the Terrigen Mists in Marvel a bunch of years ago when they were trying to turn the Inhumans into a big deal because they were worried about the X-Men movie licenses. And you may recall at the time they kind of turned a lot of people from mutants into Inhumans. At least that was temporary, but it went on for maybe 4 or 5 years. Kind of sounds a little bit like that, same kind of deal. New people will be getting powers. People that have powers will be getting different powers and the like. So could be a lot of fun given the creators involved. Here we have some one-shots that I think bring us into this event. I will note that these look like anthologies. If you look here, you can see that they're all written by bunches of people and drawn by bunches of people. So these are short stories focused on little vignettes related to this Lazarus eruption. But for the record, I am going to check out all of those. I'm not reading the Mark Silvestri Batman book, Batman and the Joker Deadly Duo. Haven't actually heard anything about it either, so very excited about this. Nightwing has been, to my mind, one of the best superhero comics on the stands for the last 2 or 3 years since Tom Taylor took over as writer with Bruno Redondo doing most of the art. He doesn't do every issue, but he does most of them. Here we have the 100th issue. It is 56 pages, so it's 2.5 size times the normal size, and it's just been fantastic. So I don't know why this wouldn't continue apace. Pretty excited for that. Not reading most of the Batman stuff, so we're gonna kind of just zoom through it because I don't have much to say on it since I'm not reading it. So yeah, we'll just keep going here. Also not reading Action Comics. Justice Society, as I've mentioned the last 2 months, extremely excited for this return. John's Justice Society book from the decade and a half ago was one of my gateways into becoming a hardcore DC fan after spending the first 20 years of fandom mainly focused on Marvel among superhero comics. So the fact that we have John's back doing Justice Society is all the goodness. Got a cool anthology one-shot that's focused on Black history, which I'm always a fan of supporting. The writers involved are Chuck Brown, Morgan Hampton, Stephanie Williams, Evan Narcisse, with Valentine Delandro, Clayton Henry, and others on art. Those are all people of color, in case you're wondering. And Chuck Brown is someone that I very much came to know and appreciate through his work as one of the co-creators on Bitter Root with Sanford. Yeah, and we had the chance to get to know him a bit at Heroes as well. So I'm very excited for that. Don't read The Flash, as you guys know. Danger Street, the latest Tom King 12-issue maxi-series masterpiece. This is issue number 2 with Jorge Fornes on art. Wildcats, number 3. I read the first issue of Wildcats. Won't say I was blown away by it, but I do love the characters, and I love the idea of it being back. So I thought it was good, not great, but certainly good, not great is enough to get me to continue for a few more issues at a minimum. Here we've got some Sandman reprints capitalizing on the popularity of the show, which, by the way, for those that don't know, was officially picked up for a second season. And that bodes well, because I would imagine then that also means that there's a good likelihood we'll get third and fourth seasons as well. Usually it kind of works out that way, I think, with the big streamers. Got more Bat books, which I'm not reading. Absolutely love the Nice House on the Lake. I think it's one of the best books on the stands. Had a chance to meet artist Alvaro Martinez Bueno at New York Comic Con last month. Of course, James Tynion is the writer. And this is volume 2 of the collection. I get this in issues, so I won't be getting this particular collection. But if you are still a person who holds out for collections, now is the time to pounce. We've got an absolute Dark Knight's Death Metal. I'm sure Vince is excited by that. We've got the collection of Batman Superman, World's Finest, The Devil Neza. Both Dap and I have spoke about this first arc quite a bit. This is written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora and Travis Moore. We've got a number of DC young adult graphic novels. These aren't made for me, but that's cool. They are made for younger readers by design, and so I won't be getting them, but I've heard they're of very high quality series, and I certainly think that these will appeal to a lot of you, or maybe your kids or what have you. So we've got a Teen Titans Robin book. We've got a Girl Taking Over, which is a young Lois Lane kind of coming into the city, into her own book. And then a Bruce Wayne Not Super, which is a book of Bruce Wayne in high school. And as you can see, it looks like there's also high school versions of the other Justice League members. So that might be fun, especially for even younger readers. I think this is geared more towards like middle school age kids. And then we've got the smaller monthly solicits here. I'll go quickly through them. I've given up on Batgirls. It wasn't that I wasn't loving it, I wasn't enjoying it, but I wasn't loving it. And, my pile to read is always massive as it is, so it just didn't quite make the cut, but I can't say that I have anything particularly bad to say about what I did read of the series. Batman Incorporated, on the other hand, I did, basically was one and done with that. Really thought the first issue struggled to establish why we should care about the characters. It didn't even really do a good job of introducing a litany of characters who would be new characters for a lot of us if you weren't fully up to speed on the prior Batman Incorporated work that was primarily written by Morrison back in the day. So yeah, I passed on that. Not reading any of these other books as I glance through them. DC Horror Presents Sergeant Rock Army of the Dead is exactly what you think it would be. Listen, Eduardo Risso's drawing it, so that is enough to keep me going with it. Fables is, this is issue number 9 of its 12-issue return to form. I'm bummed that it's only coming back for 12 issues because I think they didn't skip a beat. And yeah, so I'm sort of holding out hope that this is successful enough and creatively invigorating enough for Willingham and Buckingham that they decide to do more. But there's been no official word of that. GCPD, The Blue Wall, is an interesting book. It's written by John Ridley, who has been doing some excellent stuff of late at both Marvel and DC. He is helming the new Black Panther comic, which I think is great so far. This is a book essentially about the cops of Gotham, but I will say I'm finding it's hard for me not to compare this to Gotham Central. And I don't think it matches the quality of that particular series. And look, bluntly, I know for some of you, if you're not really into supporting or being sympathetic to cops, this book isn't for you, because it basically tracks 3 rookie police officers and their travails, as well as the higher ups and the bureaucratic red tape they have to deal with. So it's definitely a book that focuses on cop life. And my dad is a retired cop, so definitely something that I enjoyed reading, and it felt very real to me, as if Ridley certainly knows what it's like to be a cop, or is I think treating the subject matter fairly, but probably not a series that's going to light a lot of you on fire. Okay, so we've got Human Target number 11. That is the penultimate issue of the 12-issue series, also written by Tom, with art by Greg Smallwood. I have adored what I've read of this, but I tabled it after the 6th issue to wait until it's finished, and then I will read the last 6 issues in one fell swoop. Tim Drake Robin, read the first issue, enjoyed it quite a bit. Megan Fitzmartin, with art by Ricardo Lopez Ortiz. Have not read the subsequent issues yet, but I am going to continue to order that because I did like the first issue. Not reading Wonder Woman or Titans at the moment. We've got some collected editions. I don't think I'm going to be ordering any of these because I have a lot of it. I will point out here, just skimming quickly to see if anything is up the alley. It's interesting they're bringing back the Birds of Prey old stuff. Sean McKeever is a name I haven't thought about in a long time. Believe it or not, for those of you that are newer to comics, he was a mainstream darling. I mean, one of DC's go-to guys. I don't know what happened with him, actually. I'm going to have to look that up after we're done recording, because I almost forgotten that he existed. But there was a time when he was writing a lot of big books. And that, I think, does it. We've got one more page here. Some collections. I wouldn't say these collections are must-haves. So, it's just more about if you like this particular series, and then you've got the checklist. So there you have it. As always, our DC read-through is the fastest and the shortest of the 3 because they put out the least amount. But hopefully you found some things that you jive with. And as always, let me know if there's anything that you think warrants my attention based on the kinds of things I'm into. If I didn't cite it, or I said I'm not reading it, but you think I should be, you know where to find me. You can find us at 11o'clockcomics.com, or the Slack if you're a member of our Patreon, or of course our Facebook group, 11 O'Clock Comics. You just go to Facebook and search for it if you're not already a member. It's a very vibrant, active, and well-policed, well-moderated community. I know right now social networking is gone wild in a lot of places, and if you're looking for a place to have intelligent, vibrant conversations about life and comics and culture, that you'll be treated with respect and politely, and have like-minded people that won't attack you for your opinions, then give it a shot. If you're not already a member of those communities, we would love to have you. Okay, take care.